Hey guys, it's your girl Sia. Peace Talk time. This breeze is really fine. It was really fine. I ain't gonna lie, that's the only reason why I opted to do an early morning Dunkin' run. Yeah, no. But anyway, yeah. Because otherwise, I'd have just waited for my boyfriend and just wait till he get up. Okay. But anyway, so I have another question. Well, it's more of a topic because I feel like it's not talked about enough. And sometimes, and I feel like we, not even women, just, I prefer to be around happy and healthy couples. Like, whether they're married, dating, or whatever. If they're in like a healthy state of mind and, peaceful and happy, I want to be around people like that because that's my energy. And not only is that my energy, but that was what I encountered being in my when I first got into the relationship that I'm in. Not everybody is or can or have, that, how can I say it, the confidence to leave toxic situations or, people alone. No matter how much these people are hurting them and, embarrassing them and, belittling them. Because sometimes that's all they know. How can you really, to be truthfully honest, how can you, really know that that's actually not a good situation if that's what you grew up into? That's all you know. Or, the family that you have, that's all y'all know is toxicity. Not everybody is going to be, happy-go-lucky or even happy for you when you leave anything toxic alone. When I mean cut everything off that's toxic, negative, anything, all of it. Not everybody's okay with it. Not everybody's okay with the season where they gotta be alone. Not everybody cool with that because not everybody even knows themselves or comfortable with them own selves. Some people don't even like themselves in general. So I want to know, because actually I'm following honestly a whole bunch of Facebook groups and stuff, black women friend groups and things like that. And I seen where another girl actually asked that question because that's what she was going through. She said, is she wrong for wanting to only be around happy, healthy married couples? She said a friend of hers, quite a few friends of hers made her feel like she was wrong, or like, as if she's looking down on other people because they're not. And that's not usually the case. The situation is when you grow and evolve out of old patterns and, old energy, old people that don't even really align with what you currently are doing or where you're currently at in your life, people don't know how to take it. They really don't know how to take it. And we don't want to be around that energy. I had to learn from my own friend circle that I couldn't even vent or even, tell them even about the good things that was going on in my relationship or, anything, because they'll be quick to be like, oh, well, like I legit had my sister, like when I tell you this is my sister, she's my sister, and I showed up, I do this, you know what I mean? That's how it is. However, When I took my very, very first, adult trip, my 30th birthday, I went to Vegas. Well, I went with my boyfriend, but, that was a big girl move for me, I was proud of myself. I planned my own trip by myself, all that stuff. And I was actually very, very appreciative of how our situation even came about, because I wasn't expecting us to, literally almost get stuck in Vegas in the airport. I wasn't expecting it, but it really made me value my boyfriend more. That's what really made me start to really really okay, that's because it was the little things that I've never had anybody do for me. Just as, just the little things, whereas though I could see and I felt very safe and secure with him, to the point where I didn't have to speak up. I didn't have to, panic or worry about our situation or anything. I was able to let him lead and help us basically get home. He's a lot more calmer than me. I'm gonna just say that. But when I was, explaining it to my friend, mind you, I popped up on her because, she had got her first crib by herself, and I was happy for her. And I wanted to see her crib and visit her, check on her, see how she's doing and stuff. And then I was telling her about my trip, and I'm legit in the middle of telling her what was going on and this and that, and she literally stopped me midstream. It was like, oh sis, I don't want to hear about all that happy stuff, because I got all this toxic stuff going on. Huh? Don't y'all know that made me be like, oh, okay. And that made me really start to be like, well, maybe I don't need to be around you, period. Because that's kind of crazy. Like, you only want to hear about the negative things that I got going on because that's what you have going on. That's not a two-way relationship. Just because my friends are doing good, and I'm not in a good headspace or a good situation, that don't mean I'm not happy for them. I would never show no negativity or, be a hater or, anything of the sort, just because I'm not happy at the moment. You feel me? Like, so I had to learn, what? Maybe I don't need to vent about my situation to them, because they're not going to understand it. They're not going to understand, healthy situation, healthy issues over the toxic issues. I've even seen it in, a lot of the girl groups that I was in. It's so much, women bashing, male bashing, just bashing in general, that I removed myself from those groups because it was just like kind of crazy. But when some of us come to vent, sometimes we vent, on social media because we can't even vent to our actual real life friends and family because they down talk us. You get what I'm saying? So, and then for other women that don't even know us or the real situation, it shows that a lot more women are sometimes they really are a little bit more miserable, or not even just miserable. They have this different mentality nowadays, where everything gotta go their way, and if it don't go their way on one mistake, they telling people to leave their husbands and their boyfriends an X amount of years just over one mistake. Okay, sorry y'all, this my green tea. If y'all know this is my thing right here. I know I had see, I used to work at Wawa, so I was there when they started the new rechargers or whatever, and they were good, they're good, but some of them joints, they are hit or miss telling you, because the one I had yesterday, it was nasty. I don't know, maybe it just seemed like it was too much going on or something. I don't know, but it wasn't a good joint. And then, you know, every Wawa different. I learned that too, working at Wawa, so, you know. But back to my story, back to my situation. But anyway, so, and I've seen women really tell other women to leave their husbands and stuff over one thing. And a lot of times it's not even that big of a situation. Or I've seen women comment or, you know, ask opinions on their friends' situations that's not even really bothering them, but it's an issue to them. And they'll really get upset if you disagree with their opinion. And, you know, when you give them the reality or a different perspective to look at something, they don't like it sometimes. I had another friend that, you know, we've been friends for years, but you know what I mean? We talk on and off, here and there or whatever. And that's another reason why, like, you know, I was telling her little issues in the beginning that I had with my boyfriend, and she like, oh, well, I don't know, he seems sketchy. I sent her just a picture of what he looked like. And she just was like, yeah, I don't know, because he might, you know, he seemed a little shady or like, what is that? What is that? Granted, I did, you know, my friends really did used to come to me to kind of, you know, scale and, you know, they situations and their dudes. However, I don't do that. I don't need you to tell me whether this, you know, whether he's good or not, because I'm going to figure it out. I'm private anyway, even with my friend circle. I've always been that way. I don't really tell nobody nothing that be going on until after the fact, or, you know, they might be going through something and I'll just give them advice based off of what I had to learn from my experience. You know what I mean? And then not for nothing, I never feel safe enough to vent to anybody about those things, because you get people that look at you crazy and call you crazy for this and that, just because you want different, or you are different and you handle things differently. Like, do you know how many times I've came into contact into situations where niggas was cheating on me and doing me dirty, but I wound up some way, shape, or form being cool with the female, because I've never held a female all the way responsible. At the end of the day, you're in a relationship with that man, or you're married to that man. At the end of the day, woman, she don't have no real loyalty to you. However, morally, of course, she should want to, you know, she wouldn't want it to happen to her. However, that's neither here nor there. I've given women that the men treated me like, well, I can't, you know what I mean? I used to be the person that needed to tell my side of the story. I needed to show that, you know, what I was saying was true or whatever. However, I had to learn that, you know what, people won't do what they want to do regardless, and it's gonna, you know, people will ultimately reveal themselves anyway. Sometimes it's not your place to do it. You know what I mean? Let people think what they want to think about you. And that's how I leave things. So now, I literally do spend the majority of my time with my boyfriend, because that's where I'm comfortable with. You know, and vice versa. Like, we don't really hang around too many people, because most of the people we did hang around is they doing different things that we don't really necessarily want to be a part of or want to do. We find peace being around each other. You know, and then not for nothing, but that's where we're when I tell you, not only are we soul bonded, but that's my twin flame right there. It's no way around that. we be going through the same things. Like, it's sometimes, and then I had to learn that because I was at a different healing stage than he was when I met him. So I had to give him, this, patience to grow, just like I needed the patience to grow. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. So at the end of the day, I can't fault him for things he didn't know how to handle, or for the way that we deal with things to help us cope with stuff. Unlearning all the toxic, mechanisms we put up to deal with the things that we had to deal with is very hard. It's harder than people think. So, but I say that to just say that I really, really don't think that there's a problem with being around people. And then not only that, when you have even older couples that are married and have been married for a long time, I would rather be around them and get advice from them than younger. Some, you know what I mean? Because they'll give a better perspective than somebody younger, or, because not everybody marries for the right reasons. I think that's another topic I might talk about too. But that's besides the point. Because nowadays, marriage is like, the topic of marriage and the sanctity of it, the real meaning behind it it's not the same. It's not the same. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with, with people not having that priority to be married, or, for them to live their life that way, because in general, that's how a lot of us were taught. You know what I mean? You grow up, you know what I mean? You go to school, you go to work, you know what I mean? You get a wife or a husband, you know what I mean? Or a husband, and then, y'all get married, y'all have kids, y'all, you know what I mean? You build a life. That's what we were taught back then. And if you were smart and able to get a real good job back then that meant, you were able to move your family out the hood for us black folks and stuff and get into the suburb, white people neighborhood, the white picket fence and all that stuff, the American dream, that type of thing, But now it's not like that. You got men. Granted, I don't think there's nothing wrong with, making sure both people can equally bring things to the table. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. However, for men to really, really, not want to be leaders and providers just because society is saying all these other things, y'all are getting advice and listening to these, quote unquote relationship, people, when half of them ain't even married or, in a relationship. Most of them single. And, a lot of this advice and whatever, they out here yelling and screaming at people. You can see why they not married, or they, whatever, or how, or you could kind of maybe think about how their situation is. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with, all of it. I love, the growing amount of entrepreneurs and people working for themselves, and, the business owners, and, everybody coming out with their podcasts and, radio stations, and, having the shows and doing all these things. But some of these people, especially once they get to that level, really change. The majority of these, listen, I've seen So many, especially the male ones, y'all, they be yelling at the screen. They might as well be yelling at us. I mean, well, pretty much that's what they're doing. Even when they're on the stage at the live events or whatever, like, you know, the shows, that's what they doing. Yelling. Literally yelling. Then you have it where the men are telling, you know, and saying the right things and all that stuff, and now you got people calling him a simp, or he a lame, or he this and he that, just because he wants to respect. He should, because the last I checked, men are supposed to respect women. I also feel as though women should respect men too. That's just how I feel. You know, that's just how I feel. I think any and everybody deserve to be respected. I don't think they shouldn't not, you know what I mean? They should not be respected. Sorry, y'all. Sending my good morning text to my boyfriend. Acting like I'm driving. Can't drive. Well, I can. I just need a new battery, and I would be able to fix. I have to fix my hood, and like, it's really my passenger side. It's not really my driver's side, but I gotta fix that. Anyway, I can't even open my hood, I don't think. But that's besides the point. We're not talking about that. I gotta stop doing that. But I just don't think that there's anything wrong with being around the people that you are trying to either elevate to be or what you're inspiring to be. It's nothing wrong with that. Because when you're around like-minded individuals, you grow. I'm sorry, but you don't see millionaires being upset because other people are out here trying to make money or doing the same things that they're out here doing. You don't see, you know, athletes or whatever upset because it's new athletes trying to come. You don't see that. All you see, you know, the only people that's out here upset, you know, about other people elevating are the people that's not going nowhere or doing anything or wanting to change or do anything, or, you know, that's okay with, you know, playing the victim role because they seeing that that's getting them by. That's not the way to live, though. So, but that goes back to what I said yesterday in my other video about no, that ain't it. I'm sorry, y'all. These people keep trying to get me. I really think these people keep trying to scam me. But sometimes I really be trying to keep an open mind and not think that everybody out here trying to scam, because I don't think everybody's out here trying to scam. But it'd be hard. I'm telling you, they be wanting you to do all this stuff. And it just be like, what you mean? You know? Like, what do you mean for real? Like, you want me to do this, and that. Like, why can't you just send it regular? Because that's what you said you was doing, you know? And I don't understand why This didn't change and I changed it. But anyway, what do y'all think? I want to know. Do you think is wrong, or do you think that it's wrong for people to have a preference of who they rather be around or hang or associate themselves with? And like I said, I don't think it is, for the simple fact that they tell us in life, right? Watch who you associate yourself with. Do they or do they not? Well, Star Trek, they did. I know my mind. I know, you know what I mean? I'm not, saying that no other race don't, but I know I'm black. I ain't gonna say I only been around black people. I ain't gonna say that because I've been around. You know what I mean? That's besides the point. But we've all been taught to watch who you associate yourself with. Watch who you call your friend. Watch who you know what I mean? Watch what these other people are doing, because people are out here doing stuff and sometimes you don't know what they're doing. I teach my kids that because they're at that age, you know what I mean, where kids doing everything now. Like I said, my kids are 12, 10, and 8 on the 27th of this month. They're in that age bracket, especially my boys. They, they have, they got friends. They is social, okay? My sons, they social. I really wasn't that social. My daughter's like me. I really wasn't, if I had friends 9 times out of 10, it was because, they either sat by me or we had a class together. We might have spoke once or twice and now we cool. Now we hanging around, and that's just what it is. And then I genuinely get to know them. I genuinely start liking them. That's just how it is. However, I was not the person to, go out and talk to anybody. I wasn't. And, I try not to push my daughter to do that too much, but I still do because I want her to understand that there's nothing wrong with having more than one friend group in life. Because I made those mistakes. Even with my friend circle then. When they had new friends, I didn't want to meet them. I really was the person that didn't really like, meeting new people, because now you got to learn these people. Now you got to see what these people's intentions are. I don't have time to be doing that all the time. And like I said, I'm a spiritual person. I'm a natural born reader. I'm an empath. I feel everybody's energy. You get what I'm saying? I could pick up on it like it ain't no tomorrow. And I don't even be wanting to. I really don't be wanting to. I promise you. Like, one day, me, my kids, my dad, we... And so now we go to the buffet, Golden Corral. I'm not really a big buffet fan no more, as I got older and my diet, changed, and the cleanliness of how people, these restaurants, all that stuff. I worked in numerous, pizza stores. I was a waitress for almost 7 years. So I worked in that food. Like I said, I worked at Wawa. I worked at Dunkin'. I worked at, the pretzel factory. Like, so I see stuff. And then it don't work well with my body anyway. Like, as soon as I leave a buffet, it's coming out. Okay? Like, Ain't no, it be right past go. Sometimes I'm not gonna make it to the bathroom while I'm in there. And sometimes it's, the car ride home need to be quicker than what it is, if you catch my drift. But, and we minding our business. We go, we sit down, and, we get our food, and we get ready to, and we eating, and we talking, and having our little conversations and stuff. And I feel the energy. I just feel it, right? There's a whole table of, like, older black women and stuff. They eating or whatever. But I see them. They staring at us, making little faces, and all this. And I feel like, that's what some of their conversation was about. I seen it. And they seen me looking. Because after a while, they stopped. And then I said, I don't know why they look. Literally, this was me. I don't know why they looking over here or worried. We're not worried about anybody else. We came here to eat and, enjoy family time just like y'all did. Just like anybody else did. I don't understand. What's the problem? But I had to remember that when you're a chosen individual or a person who really, really is in tune with themselves and, really, you stand out, you outspoken, you speak up, no matter what it is, who it is, you're going to speak up. Not everybody like that. But you when the energy shifts, when you walk into a room, you know that it's because of you. So imagine that, I just want everybody to, before you even answer the question, to say, yes, y'all are wrong. I want you to really, really take a good look at your friend circle. At your friend circle, your family members, all that stuff, right? Take a really, really good look and really, really think deep and hard about any progression or anything you've done of substance to move yourself along or anything of the sort. And if there was any negativity, anything to, break your spirit or break you down or shut your dream down or your goal down or what you did down, or they overlook it, or they, talk over it, those are the signs of people that I'm talking about that you don't really need to be around. Or, or if you have that, or you could be at work, right? Mind you, please don't misunderstand me. Work is work. When you go to work to make money and you go home. It's not to make friends. Don't misunderstand me. It ain't to make friends. But if you do, by all means, it's a good thing, right? Now, when you are working and you are around people and they don't, mind you, you got a good little situation, Mostly everybody like you. They fuck with you, right? But you got one or two motherfuckers that don't. For whatever reason, they don't even know why. Because they ain't really in your circles and they don't really know why. But they might see that other people like you and they trying to figure out why. Instead of just asking why. Or, coming to talk to you. They rather not even back around. Or, I feel as though this is one problem in the workplace that I think actually need to be talked about. The dynamic between, younger and older people that have been working at the job for so long and the new people that come in. Because sometimes you get that, you get the jealousy from the older people because, you get the younger people, they work out, then they get the promotions quicker, and you get the older folks that be like, yo, I've been here for forever, and why I didn't get this, and the third. Those benefits wasn't there sometimes. And sometimes people have to, like I said, we have to really start looking internally and be like, well, did I even really put the work in to do that? You know what I mean? Did I even really want the position until I see somebody else have it? You got situations like that, right? Or, where people want to go higher than you, but they can't because they ain't even got the qualifications to go higher than you, but they're going to try to make everybody else not like you or for you to leave so they can get higher. But they ain't going to get higher whether you there or ain't. Those are people you don't need around you. Those are the people you don't need around you. Your family members, you can say, oh, hey, I was thinking about, opening up this or starting this. And they be like, oh, no, I don't think you need to do that because you need this at first. You need this first. You need this. And you don't even got that. And you don't even got. You need to cut them off. Or, love from afar. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we can't pick our family. Well, I feel as though that term is actually not true. The family that we're born into, no, we cannot choose. But we can choose our own family. Because at the end of the day, think about it. When you meet boyfriend, girlfriend, right? And y'all either been together for a long period of time, y'all get married, that is you choosing your family, right? And starting your own family. When you get your friends and, oh yeah, now you calling this friend your sister, this and that. That's your family that you created for yourself. Your friend groups, that's your family you created. There's nothing wrong with that, and can't nobody tell you about it. Because I guarantee you, they family always, blood thicker than water. Blood is gonna fuck you up worse than the streets and the people in the streets. Yes, people gonna backstab you. They gonna, they gonna do you dirty. They gonna whatever. But your family, they gonna do you the worst. And then we're gonna get mad because you don't even want to deal with them. Once again, don't need to be around them, right? Now, that brings me back to the question. Are we wrong for wanting to be around happy, healthy couples or just people in general? Yes or no? That's what I have for y'all today. Thanks for watching.